Hey everyone, welcome back to Embrace the Journey. We're so excited to share today's adventure with you. We're visiting one of the most unique places in the U.S., the White Sands National Park in New Mexico. This place is like no other, and believe it or not, we almost didn't make it here. The weather was pretty bad earlier in the day, and it was raining non-stop. But just when we thought we'd have to call it off, the skies cleared up in the afternoon, so we decided to go for it. And wow, are we so glad we did. If you're new here, welcome. We're the Vega family. We're a family of 5, passionate about traveling and learning. We share our adventures and experiences to inspire you to embrace your own adventures, whether big or small. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Now let's dive in. We recommend starting at the Visitor Center. It's a bit small, but has lots of great information about the dunes. In fact, there we learned that the White Sands Park was not always a national park. It used to be a national monument since 1933, thanks to President Herbert Hoover. But over the years, the place was proved to be more than just stunning dunes. It's an area super rich in scientific discoveries and archaeological significance. So in 2019, it was upgraded to national park status, in part thanks to a big push of a defense spending bill, mainly because of its proximity to the White Sands Missile Range. Now the park location is pretty interesting. It's located right next to the White Sands Missile Range. This is the largest military testing range in the world, and it's been in use since World War II. In fact, this is where the U.S. tested the first atomic bomb in 1945. Pretty wild, right? And while it's not something you see every day, the military still uses some parts of the park to test. In fact, for visitor safety, the only road into the dune field, which is the Dunes Drive, may be closed for periods up to 3 hours during missile tests. Now, the park staff usually knows about these closures 2 weeks in advance, but sometimes they get notified with only 24-hour notice. So it's always a really good idea to check ahead before you plan your visit. The park works hard to keep visitors informed about upcoming tests and closures, so make sure you check the park closures page for the latest updates before heading out there. We were lucky to get some information from our KOA where we were staying, and that helped us a ton. Even though it was a bit windy and chilly, especially for a November afternoon in New Mexico, the sun was finally peeking through the clouds, and the landscape looked absolutely amazing. The white gypsum sand stretches for miles, and it really does feel like you're walking on another planet. Did you know that these dazzling white dunes shimmer in the tucked away Tularosa Basin in southern New Mexico? They cover about 275 square miles, making this the largest gypsum dune field in the world, and it's right here. Now the sand here is like no other sand you've seen before. It's actually gypsum, which means the grains are much softer and lighter than typical sand. And when it comes to sand, size matters. Sand is technically defined as a mineral between 0.065 millimeters and 2 millimeters in diameter, about the wide of a nickel. That's the size of the grains we were sledding on. Some areas of the park even had little puddles left over from the rain, making the dunes look like they were part beach, part desert. It was pretty surreal. Of course, one of the coolest activities you can do here, aside from hiking and exploring, is sledding down the dunes. You can rent these amazing green sleds at the park's gift shop. It's about $25, and we couldn't resist. It was a ton of fun. The sand here is so soft, yet it's perfect for sliding down the dunes, and we took turns racing each other to the bottom. And trust me, it's a must-do activity if you're visiting White Sands. Even though it was a little wet, they were still so fun. Now, it was definitely cold. The wind was picking up, and though we were bundled up, the cold didn't matter much because we were having so much fun. The white sands is made of gypsum crystals, which gives the sand this pure white color. But the cool thing is that even though it's a desert, the sand doesn't get too hot. So no matter how sunny it got or how sunny it gets, you won't burn your feet walking around here. As the afternoon went on, we were treated to something truly magical, a white sands sunset. After the rain and the skies had cleared out and the colors that filled the sky were just amazing. The golden light hitting the dunes, turning them into something straight out of a dream. This shifted to soft pinks and fiery oranges, and honestly, it was one of the most beautiful sunsets we've ever seen. As the sunset went down, it really made us reflect on how unpredictable life can be. We almost didn't make it here because of the weather, but then the experience turned out to be so much more than we expected. Sometimes the best memories come from unplanned moments, and we're so glad we embraced the journey, even with all the twists and turns along the day. If you're ever in the area, we highly recommend you stopping by White Sands National Park. Thanks for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you loved about it, where you're visiting next, and don't miss amazing family-friendly adventures. Remember to embrace the journey and take a moment to enjoy the beauty of everything around you as we say, Hola Life!